The National Hip Hop Museum is getting ready to hold its grand induction ceremony. And joining us this morning with more is Master G and Erica Parham. Good morning.
Good morning. You have CMA Awards, the Grammys, you have all these different awards where these artists get that moment. They have that chance to be able to be recognized by their peers. We want people to experience that in hip hop.
To start with the founding fathers and the early pioneers who oftentimes haven't gotten any accolades, it is then important for us to put them on a pedestal for the rest of America and the world to remember and acknowledge and archive and preserve.
What we're doing with KRS-One and Roxanne Shante and Kurtis Blow, and these are all, friends of mine that we've been doing this thing for
People that
years.
laid the foundation.
People that put the work in.
That's
Yes,
right, that's
yes.
right.
Okay, we ready to go? Okay, here we go. If you love hip hop, let me see you say yeah! Yeah! If you really love hip hop, let me hear you say hell yeah! Hell yeah! Okay, that's better. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone for coming out. My name is Jeremy Beaver. I'm the CEO and founder of the world's first hip hop museum, a nonprofit organization trying to honor and induct and preserve and archive hip-hop.
Since its inception, the National Hip Hop Museum has wanted to shine a light on the many influential figures and icons in hip-hop culture. And part of that process has been these induction ceremonies. Now in this fourth ceremony, we wanted to highlight the importance of these inductees and what it is that makes them so important to the growth of hip-hop.
The number one goal is simply, on a very human level, to make them feel good and honored and respected about what they have contributed to American society and American music and culture.
My name is Roxanne. Don't you know I just a cold rock a party and I do this show.
It helps to raise, I would say, our sense of legacy and pride to be able to say, oh wow, that face looks like mine, or my people were there, or we did something that had such a great impact globally to be proud of, and it opens up their minds and it makes them say, oh shit, like, that's one of us.
The National Hip Hop Museum strives to bring these people back into the public spotlight and highlight their contributions.
I know that our stories are not always told correctly, and it's glad to have our stories being told by us while we're still here to see it.
Get up and get with this. Shante is here to take care of business.
Roxanne Shante is an icon in hip-hop. She first gained attention at the age of 14 when she released Roxanne's Revenge, a Marley Marl produced rebuttal to UTFO's gargantuan hit, Roxanne, Roxanne.
Roxanne, Roxanne, can't you understand? Roxanne, Roxanne, I wanna be your man.
Marley Marl said, come here, I want you to hear this beat. Did you hear this song before? So then I heard that boom. Roxanne, Roxanne. I said, okay, so now what? He said, let me hear you rhyme.
My name is Roxanne. Don't you know I just a cold rock a party and I do this show.
Shante sparked what became known as the Roxanne Wars, where groups and artists would constantly reply to UTFO and Roxanne Shante's tracks.
Now KRS-One, you should go on vacation with the name sounding like a whack radio station.
That's what rappers did. You battled in order to prove that you were the best. I had this thing called Nipsey Russell syndrome, which is what I nicknamed it because it was something that I learned from a comedian by the name of Nipsey Russell.
Those who think of women as the weaker sex just can't see the trees for the woods, because no matter how loudly a rooster may crow, it's the hen who delivers the goods.
Yeah. I sat at home and I watched him on television and I watched him rhyme an entire show. Every response that he gave was a rhyme.
If you want to get even with your low-down friends who treated you rotten to the core, give a big party, serve nothing but beer, and lock the bathroom door.
So I remember going to the parks and having to not only literally fight in order to get the microphone, but to push my way in and to make sure they understood that just because I'm a girl and just because I had this long hair didn't mean that I wasn't lethal with the lyrics. And so that's where Roxanne Shante came from.
She's been a mentor for many women in hip-hop, allowing future female MCs to see a woman standing shoulder to shoulder with male counterparts.
I came in to prove a point to let them know that female rappers were, if not as good, were even better than most male rappers.
Whenever I'm in a battle, yo, I don't play. So you best go about your way and have a nice day.
My mom had enrolled me in a poetry slam. She said, this is what you do. You rhyme it, you recite it, and your cadence will make people be able to feel it when you say it. And so that was my beginning.
Sha Rock, don't stop, just get on your mind when you're ready to rock.
Cause the sun won't shine, the rain won't stop. We got the style you call punk rock.
MC Sha Rock was the first female MC, breaking into the scene in the late 1970s as part of the Funky Four and later the Funky 4+1.
I heard this female MC. She was rhyming over don, 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 and she was rhyming with the echo chamber. And she said,
well, I'm Sha Rock, yes, you all well know. Rock for the high, you down for the low. Never heard the word they call the whack. Cause I'm one of the best, I'm on the right track.
I stood there in my house and rewinded that tape over for 3 days straight. I couldn't believe how incredible this girl was with the echo chamber. And I was like, yo, Jay, I gotta be like Sha Rock. I gotta have that echo chamber.
Now this is the way we wine and dine, and at the same time, mess with your mind.
Being a part of the Funky Four, first, I became the first female MC of hip-hop culture, but also the first female MC to be a part of an original all-male group.
Sha Rock's presence in the group was unique, as she was considered an equal amongst male members, challenging the norms associated with women in hip-hop.
Please welcome my friends from the Bronx, the Funky Four plus one more.
On February 14th, 1981, the Funky 4+1 performed on Saturday Night Live by invite of the host, Debbie Harry of Blondie, making history as one of the first hip-hop acts on national television.
And we were told the reason why she wanted us as opposed to Grandmaster Flash, the Furious Five, or the Sugar Hill Gang is because they had a female.
When I heard her take the microphone, I was like, uh-oh, this means that girls can do this too?
I was always a secret weapon. A lot of other groups were scrambling, trying to find female MCs that can be able to deal with Sha Rock.
Another iconic Bronx female MC of the era was next for the museum. Queen Lisa Lee helped inspire a whole generation of female MCs.
We used our vocals and our bars and our street knowledge to have people pay attention to us.
Lisa was part of the original Zulu Nation. After her days rocking the mic at park jams led to her becoming a founding member, she can be heard on the track Zulu Nation Throwdown.
So put your hands in the air and listen to me, because you listen to the voice of MC Lisa Lee. Don't play no games, don't bite no style. When you came through the door, we gave you a smile.
Lisa was also the first and only female member of the Soul Sonic Force. In 1984, she was featured as part of the Us Girls in the Harry Belafonte-produced hip-hop film, Beat Street.
Breakdancing, once seen only on the streets of New York City, is now a worldwide phenomenon. To make Beat Street a reality, Belafonte had to return to the South Bronx.
My roots run deep in this community.
Being chosen out of, it was thousands and thousands of us young kids from the Bronx standing in that long line at the Roxy's trying to prove ourselves to Harry Belafonte. And to know that I made the cut, that I proved myself, it just solidified I'm the queen.
Her powerful and positive messages demanded respect and showcased the strength of women in hip-hop.
First and foremost, I want my legacy to be a strong black woman. A woman that knows who she is, that whatever she wants to achieve in life, she's gonna go for it. I want them to know that all they have to do is be the voice.
Us girls can boogie too. We can dance, we can shake it.
Camera ready, take one, and action!
We stand on the corners of our block and we just rap, just for fun. And we joined the Tin Pineapple Dance and Rap Contest. We had 200 rappers, we came in first place. And the first place prize was a recording contract.
One of the biggest groups in the early hip-hop scene in the 80s was the Fat Boys. Their mix of straight lyrics with comedy will lead to appearances in movies and help move hip-hop into the mainstream.
We're the Disco 3, better known as the Fat Boys, and we're about to perform one of our hit records called The Human Beatbox on New York Hot Tracks. Brrr! Stick 'em! Stick 'em! Stick 'em! Stick 'em! Stick 'em!
The Fat Boys consisted of Prince Marky D, Kool Rock Ski, and Buffy, the Human Beatbox. The song, Human Beatbox, was one of their biggest hits, and it also helped to introduce the world to the art of the human beatbox.
We go inside the studio with Kurtis Blow, and he said, why do you guys always say that stick 'em stuff? What does that mean? So for us, stick 'em at the time in East New York meant, you know, give up the goods kind of stuff.
Stick 'em meant stick 'em.
So he said, yo, make a song out of that. I'm like, you can't make a song out of robbing people. He said, no, make a rap song presenting Buff as the beatbox. So we get in there, we start to stick up. So we took off from there. Kurtis Blow produced the first album, produced the second album. First album went gold, second album went gold. This is at a time where radio still wasn't really rocking with hip hop. But we were selling out arenas every freaking night.
Stick 'em!
Yeah.
Ha ha ha!
Yeah.
Stick 'em!
Yeah.
That was the street anthem.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the end. Dudes was running up and down Brooklyn. Stick 'em! Ha ha ha! Stick 'em!
Become a beatbox, play one for me.
Even when Dougie came out, he had to jab these dudes first. You go back to the show.
Right.
He said,
And I'm known for the not for the
he did a rendition. I'm known for the not the
right.
Because everybody knew the Fat Boys. And then if you coming out, you had these were the kings. These were the dudes that was on top.
Now we may be a little chubby, but don't feel slow. We guarantee you.
The Fat Boys were one of the first hip-hop groups to embrace the idea of crossing over into other media, starring in films like Crush Groove, Nights of the City, and Disorderlies.
The Fat Boys could put you in the hospital. In Disorderlies.
What?
What I need are the worst orderlies in the history of nursing care.
The crossover appeal lifted the culture up as far as mainstream. We knew what KRS-One and Kool G Rap and Rakim and what those guys were doing, holding up the underground part of it. So us and Run DMC and LL Beastie Boys and Houdini was on top of it, just giving it to the mainstream.
Of their 7 studio albums, 4 were declared gold by the RIAA, and Crush'em was declared platinum. Rest in peace and power to Buffy the Human Beatbox and Prince Marky D, and we are honored to induct the Fat Boys into the National Hip Hop Museum.
I was so cool. I thought I was just so cool, you know what I'm saying, growing up in Hollis, Queens, being with Run DMC and them, and you know, they wanted me to DJ for some white dudes, and they was wild, and they was throwing stuff all over the place.
Hollis, Queens takes over, Run DMC, 83, you know what happened.
DJ Hurricane is from Hollis, Queens, a part of New York that has a strong pedigree of early pioneers, including Jam Master Jay, Run DMC, Davey DMX, and LL Cool J, amongst others.
DMC of Run DMC actually has some words about our next inductee. Hurricane is hip-hop. From the park jams, block parties, to the global stages with Run DMC and the Beastie Boys to infinity, he is hip-hop. And again, that's from DMC of Run DMC.
When I was on tour with Run DMC, the Beastie Boys was the opening group. In the middle of the tour, Beastie Boys had no DJ. The DJ left. They asked me to do it.
I'm China and you're watching MTV. One of the hottest tours of 1986 is the Raising Hell Tour, and the evening is opened by the Beastie Boys, the Court Jesters, and the Kingdom of Rap.
First, I didn't want to do it because they was kind of wild. They was throwing beer and all kind of crazy shit going on, you know, but then I did it for them. And then right after that, they dropped License to Ill, which sold 10 million records. And when it sold 10 million records, now I'm on tour forever. You know, my plan was to do a solo album, but once I got with them, now I'm very popular as DJ Hurricane. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm writing with Davey D on his album, Davy's Ride.
Davey DMX was one of Hurricane's early mentors and collaborators. Hurricane was also an early MC for Davey DMX. Kane, as he is affectionately known, was part of the Hollis Crew, the Afros, Run DMC, and the Beastie Boys.
Are you getting radio airplay or?
Oh yeah, we the #2 added song in the country.
What's the name of the song?
Feel It.
Feel It?
Yeah.
Or
All
Feel
right.
It?
Feel It.
It's none of your business, so leave me alone. Stop calling me on the phone, asking me questions about my phone. Do you use Jericho juice? Hell no. Stick 'em up, stick 'em up.
It's a lot of DJs that DJ for groups or rappers back then was not able to be multi-talented. Luckily, I was blessed to be able to rap and DJ and produce.
It is our honor to induct DJ Hurricane into the National Hip Hop Museum. Somebody make some noise in this joint, man!
Hey, yo, what's up, Kane? Yeah, we live, we love, we from Hollis, and this ain't no hobby, man. We ain't new to this, we do this.
Hip-hop was created on the contention, the point, the theme of peace, unity, love, and having safe fun.
Clap your hands, everybody, if you got what it takes. Cause I'm Kurtis Blow, and I want you to know that these are the breaks.
Known as the king of rap, Kurtis is a pioneering figure in hip-hop and one of the genre's founding fathers.
First artist signed to a major label, first artist to go gold. I mean, he kind of led the foray into rap, especially for solo artists. All right, because hip-hop was pretty much a predominantly group-oriented thing, and Kurt just came out on his own and just blew the spot up.
I picked up on the rap through the streets of New York. The kids.
Is that where it really started?
That's where it really started. The kids.
I remember.
The kids back then, they couldn't get into the disco and pay that $10. So what they did was they partied on the streets in the parks.
His debut single, Christmas Rappin', sold over 400,000 copies and became an annual classic.
Ain't even 1970. Now
let's get some hands together, gang, for Mr. Kurtis Blow.
The follow-up single, The Breaks, was the first rap song to be certified gold, making a significant milestone in hip-hop history.
Ready to roll, Kurt. Now look, remember, do it right this time, and I want rock and roll, baby. I'm the king of rock. There is none higher.
He produced hits for artists like the Fat Boys and worked closely with Run DMC, helping to shape their early sound.
Do you enjoy producing other people now, or do you feel that maybe you should be in there doing it yourself?
Oh, no, I find a lot of fun, and I get a lot of motivation and influence out of the young rappers who are coming up now that I have helped.
Young rappers that are coming up now, the grand old man.
His hit, If I Rule the World, is the first time that an artist looped a sample in hip-hop. 1985, Davey DMX and Kurtis Blow producing If I Rule the World and looping Pump Me Up by Trouble Funk.
He made history again by appearing in a TV commercial for Sprite years before hip-hop became a common feature in advertising campaigns.
Now more than ever. Now more than ever. It's Sprite.
You can have a career in hip-hop and not offend anyone, So make the songs that you make and you can sing in church. That is the message.
One of Kurtis's earliest productions was MC Sweet G, who was the house MC for the legendary Disco Fever nightclub.
I hooked up with Sal Abatello through his father, who had a nightclub up on 167th, and he said, well, I'd like to open up a club down there, to spread the crowd out a little bit.
I'm putting down this Sweet G's rap sensation.
Sweet G gained his respect in the late 70s and early 80s. His energetic performances helped him rise to fame.
In addition to being the official master of ceremonies for the Disco Fever Club, he also DJ'd there early.
Welcome to the world famous Disco Fever. We didn't have a DJ, so I got up there and used to start spinning. And started attracting the older crowd and everything. It was myself, and I would say, who was it be? Sweet G, ba-da-da-da, Junebug, ba-da-da-da, Star Ski. And got the crowd going, and that's when Sal Abatello, the owner of the Fever, came in and said, man, what the hell are you doing? And then he saw the reaction, he said, this is good.
When Disco Fever owner Sal Abatello launched Fever Records in 1983, it was G's Game People Play that kicked off the label. In the song, Sweet G shows off his abilities as both an MC and a classically trained singer.
That record was produced by Kurtis Blow, partially written by Billy Bill and Davey DMX. And I had the opportunity and the pleasure to be able to be the artist on the record, and we toured all, we didn't tour, but we performed all over the tri-state area.
Ladies and gentlemen, give this brother a big round of applause.
Truly overly excited right now. You know what I mean? Like, people actually know who I am. They know me from this thing we call hip hop.
Islam said, go make the record, bring it back to the station, I'll play it. I go in the studio, we make some classics.
Come on, now they pop like traffic when we walk in. Now the party don't start till the show begins.
The B-Boys are Donald D, Brother B, and DJ Chuck Chillout.
Black kids against the wall. Some playing basketball.
Donald D and the B-Boys released a few classic hip-hop singles. Amongst them, Stick Up Kids, Girls, and 2-3 Break. These singles are amongst some of the most sampled in hip-hop.
B-Boys released a string of records on Vincent Davis's Vintertainment Records that will become pivotal not only for their dopeness, but for their sample potential.
Two, three, break! Rock the house, y'all. Rock the house, y'all.
I know a girl named Millie. She acts real silly. I got a girl named Sally, and she don't squall or eat pork.
Members of the B-Boys pursued successful individual careers, with DJ Chuck Chillout becoming a prominent radio DJ and Donald D joining Ice-T's Rhyme Syndicate. The legacy of the B-Boys is marked by their pioneering contributions to hip-hop and their influence on the genre's development.
I'm honored, we're honored to induct Donald D and the B-Boys to the National Hip Hop Museum. Give it up, y'all.
Rock the house, y'all.
Well, I feel grateful, humble that we have institutions inducting us and recognizing our contributions to the culture of hip hop from what we did that started back from 73 to what's going on now. So for them to honor us and some of my fellow MC from back in the days, such a blessing.
Because we got to pound down the doors to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? So this event like this, or being inducted into the Hip Hop Museum is like, okay, so we don't really have to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This is cool enough for us, you know what I mean?
There are a lot of pioneers, creators, trailblazers, icons, luminaries. They are like what we call unsung heroes of hip hop. And this is why I think and I support the National Hip Hop Museum, because of this endeavor to give the flowers out to the real people, to true culture of hip hop.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the